Hey guys, welcome back to the Weekly Talkthrough, brought to you by Katie and Austin of the Daily Walkthrough, going through the most important news in gaming and esports last week. As always, now that I am back, I'm going to be quizzed to see if I remember everything that I wrote about this week.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start. This should be an easy one because it's pretty big news. Telecommunications. Houston.
We talked about this. T-Mobile. Yes. So T-Mobile is the official sponsor for Houston Outlaws. A huge win for the Outlaws. Of course, T-Mobile is a major brand, one of the biggest companies in the country. Mm-hmm. And honestly, actually, the first thing I noticed is that the color schemes of both companies go together very well. You have like neon green and fuchsia pink. And it looks pretty good together. Yeah. But yeah, so T-Mobile, of course, has been involved in esports for a while now. They were, I think, one of the first telecommunication brands to get in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so welcome to T-Mobile sponsoring the Houston Outlaws. Yeah.
And they also do sponsor the Overwatch League itself, which is a big deal. All right, so
1 point for me.
I mean, these are pretty easy.
Okay, that one was kind of a cheat because we had mentioned it earlier and I'm supposed to guess them, but I was like, you should probably put that in anyway because it's important. So, Josh, do what you will with that point. It's really kind of like a half, but whatever.
All right, so the next one. World of Warcraft. 1 year.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember his name, but yes, a World of Warcraft player was just sentenced to a year in jail for a DDoS attack on servers because he was pissed off at another player, which sounds like he might need some anger management classes because that seems like a little bit of an aggro response. But yeah, I mean, just goes to show, like, I think a lot of times people don't realize that severe punishments can come from doing things online. I mean, people assume, oh, well, you know, I stopped some people from playing a game for a while, but obviously someone like Blizzard takes that extremely seriously, and now this guy gets to think about his temper problem for a year in jail.
Yeah, and it's really good because it serves as a deterrent for maybe future offenders. You know, like before doing it, they would think twice.
Yeah, I mean, because oftentimes people would perhaps assume that a company wouldn't bother to go through all that trouble to get them prosecuted, and clearly that's been shown not to be the case. So yeah, that led the headline earlier this week, and he will not have much to do, I imagine, for the next 365 days.
Oh man! All right. Anyways, so our last topic for the day is gonna be Belgium. Gambling.
Belgium and I can't remember the other country, it's like Finland or something. So they not recently, but they came out swinging about loot boxes, and they went after companies like EA and Blizzard were some of the big ones, and essentially ruled that loot boxes are gambling and therefore are illegal in the format that they're in. And so they've come out now and they've said, look, we've set up some very strict guidelines for what constitutes this underage gambling problem, and companies like Blizzard and Overwatch fall within that. And they've essentially said, fairly bluntly, if you do not change these things, then we will move toward prosecution in our countries. However, he did also say that they wanted to have a dialogue first and see how they could figure things out before they start going all the way to prosecution. But I mean, it goes to show you, Austin, how far things have spiraled since EA's initial kerfuffle.
Yeah, with the Battlefront, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how that started as, you know, that negative 600,000 comment piece on Reddit that has now turned into, I mean, multiple countries across the world. You have places like Hawaii, you have a lot of different areas within the US and abroad that have now taken very serious measures against loot boxes and some that they constitute as gambling. And it's been interesting to see the real world implications from that kind of. They attempted to contain that implosion, and clearly it has bled out to affect many more companies beyond EA.
Yeah, so much for the sense of pride and accomplishment.
Right. Poor choice of words to be certain. But actually, it was interesting. EA just recently said, essentially in this ruling with Belgium and elsewhere, that they were like, you know what, this isn't really going to deter us from doing loot boxes. We are going to continue to use them as one of the cornerstones of our company and how we intend to build games. And they essentially, I mean, it was a little bit of a snub at those countries. But I imagine, I mean...
At the same time, like, it is making them a lot of money, so, like...
A lot.
I
know. I got that new Hogwarts game, the one from Jam City, and in my first night, I was like, why did I spend $10 on this, Katie? This is not that exciting.
Was it actually $10?
Well, I bought gems.
Oh.
I was one of those people. I was sucked into the magic of Harry Potter again, and then I did it, and I felt guilt, and now I'm much better at just waiting.
You are part of this problem, though.
I know. I'm the monster. Yeah. Goes to show you how important it is to have some self-restraint. Maybe I'll try and practice that. Yeah. But that's all we have for you guys this week. A little bit of a shorter video, and of course, we are missing our lovely Matthew, who's off doing whatever he's doing. I don't even ask him. Do you know where he is?
I don't even know.
He disappeared. We'll try and find him. In the meantime, have a wonderful rest of your week. We, of course, will see you next week for the next edition of the Weekly Talkthrough, brought to you by the Daily Walkthrough. We will see you later.